Okay. So what's going on? You're out of Finland. Like,
Yeah. I'm in Sweden currently.
how's life?
Beautiful.
Like in what? In the suburbs or in some crowded town?
No. Never. I went to a small village. It's like 3,000 people here.
Okay. And what's the plan? Like one semester at least?
No plans.
Mm,
Never any plans.
yeah.
Just
Yeah. Cool.
winging it.
Yeah. At least if if anything ever happens, like Sweden is always gonna be like safe place. I think.
Uh, let's see. uh, at least this village, at least the villages are safe.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's up with you?
Just enjoying like life alone here in the penthouse in Kevari. Like, uh, fuck, why now I have this picture here? I don't know why. Why it's like why choose virtual? I can maybe none. Ah, okay now. I feel like a dinosaur. Like
How does it work?
yeah, these millennials, how do they do it? Like or uh, man, so I couldn't find that documentary that I personally saw. I think that it was like in a few episodes, and they were interviewing people from Afghanistan, American background, and then some Afghanistan. I don't know. It seemed like fake to me. Like it seemed. I mean, everything is kind of fake. So
Yeah,
I mean, what's real? Like the need for this war, or what's really real? I don't know. Like even this Vice video that they show at the airport, man, I was fucking dying. The people are like jumping on the train, and yeah, the plane is gonna go up at the but it was then comedic this video.
like propaganda as its best. It's like, oh, look at them, they want so bad out. Oh my god.
But I was watching like half an hour ago a documentary about Afghanistan that it was such a mountainy place with forests and stuff, and then the picture they show us is just of some desert, angry sand people, like basically.
Yeah, basically, because that's why they couldn't ever beat it. Because man, you can always go to the mountains, and where you're not gonna send troops there like hiking, and they know the mountain areas.
And
That's why
yeah,
Afghanistan can never be like invaded.
I had an interesting talk like with one Nepalese guy, and he opened my eyes to that the British couldn't take them over because they were on the mountains and they had an advantage over them.
Exactly,
Like
exactly.
you shoot them down, they can come up. Like I mean, they don't have helicopters at in 1870. I don't know when,
It's the
but
same as in Vietnam, like the American troops. Like it's how are you gonna beat them in the jungle when they know the terrain and everything.
give them heroin laced with something. I don't know what else. Like Rocky. I don't know.
Infect them with some smallpox or something like that, like they did the Indians.
Uh, how are the people in the supermarkets in Sweden? Do they like willingly wear a mask?
No man, the whole time I've been here, I haven't seen. I've seen like three people wear a mask. Three people wearing masks. No workers wear masks. No, like I went to all the public transport, like train and whatnot. Nobody's wearing a mask. Nobody's wearing a mask in the stores.
Wow.
I guess it's better vaccination.
Uh, But what was the case that in Sweden more old people were dying? That was the thing they were trying to show here that.
hmm and that's how they that's how the Finnish people like Jedi mind trick themselves to be believing like, well, look at Sweden, so many people died there, so it's good that we did it like this. It was, and they explained it because in the beginning, because people didn't know, so they let the people go to the old, like, hey, let's put the sick people in the old people's house. And
Yeah. It makes sense. Yeah.
good plan.
Put the petrol in the fire pit. Yeah.
It can't go worse.
Yeah. And I don't know what to say. Like everything seems like such a joke. Like it's trying to create new channels to make money, but it's like, why the fuck? It was already working okay. Like just go with it. Like why do you need to break it like this to hopefully create new streams? Like okay, maybe through the struggle something new is gonna be created. I don't know. Like
I don't know what the plan is, because it feels like it's going crazier like every day, and people are going crazier with it. It's like, okay, now did you see the news? Israeli, the virus czar said that. First of all, virus czar, your name. He said that. What did you say? Yeah, the fourth. Like now, there's gonna be a fourth booster shot.
man, what the fuck? Man, come on, man. Like, when does this end, man? Like, I mean, you can either go with it or just say, yo, we forgive you, but let's stop this shit. Like, because we are gonna behead you, or else, like, what are you doing? Like,
no, but people are with it. People are like, oh yeah, we need it.
Okay, man, it's gonna become the Holy Communion again. It's gonna be weekly.
Yes. That's what I think. At least I think every 6 months. Plus, Pfizer is coming with a pill that you take twice a day. But you still have to take it. But you still have to take the vaccination.
Yeah. And the Viagra comes for free.
I wish. The only good pill that they have come up with.
Yeah. And okay, Adderall is maybe.
But very good, but only for the recreational thing.
Yeah. Only for cool kids, cool 5-year-olds.
Well, okay, and people who play video games 24/7. You're rolling a cigarette or a jointy?
Jointy, yeah.
Haven't smoked.
How come? Not yet.
Haven't smoked in a week. Well, like where can I find someone? Like I'm gonna go to the village and be like, hey, hey, old man, you got some weed?
Fyndrend. I don't know how they sound in Swedish. Like Fyndrend, like kind of. I'm trying to make random Swedish sounds. Like
you live in a Swedish place, so you know.
Yeah.
But they don't speak Swedish. They like Swedish. They're speaking like this.
Bester Kunder. I don't know, Bester Kunder. Yo, we can even share the screen and put some. If you have some people in mind, we could roast like some countries' particular politicians, or I don't know, something we can criticize. Like we can put something in the background, like to stimulate. Or what did you have in mind? Like actually, you didn't say anything yet about the documentary that you watched, because I was talking about the one I was trying to find. Mm-hmm. What did you see about?
It was pretty interesting because first of all, I thought it was going to be because it was 9/11. 9/11 was the subject, so I was like, oh, conspiracy theories. I'm always interested in hearing more. But okay, they had basically it was what 9/11 started, like the Afghan war, the Iraq war, and what happened before in the Afghanistan, like the Soviet Union. I didn't even know that they were 10 years there. I thought they were like, okay, 2 years and that's it. But they were 10 years.
The Soviets?
From 79 till 89, it was all at war.
And what were they trying to gain out of their like resources or?
Same as the US probably. They were like, oh, this is ours. Then the US were like, no, Soviets, you're fucking Cold War, communism, let's fight them. And Afghanistan was like, yes, you're the good guys. And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, these bad guys, we have to kill them.
The Soviets, they were like, okay, we want this so that we can sell it to stupid Americans and get their money. Like,
it was the Cold War time, so I don't know. It was probably because we wanna own the world, you know. I don't know.
I heard something that America was trying to, like, it went to some Latin American country, took the coke and was selling it in the US so that they can buy weapons to start the war, to fund the war.
Yeah. Basic shit.
A war built on people itching.
Man,
Created out of itchiness.
itching bad. Like, because okay, coke is bad, but when they started making crack out of it, then the itching really started.
Yeah.
But it opened my eyes. Like, of course I knew all the just conspiracy theories about 9/11 and whatnot, but I didn't like, there was many interesting things like about like details of the war. Like, for example, how, like, what did they spend the money on? And it was, man, they bought what is it called? You know, these big planes that can hold these like trucks and whatnot, these huge carrier or something like that. They bought one from Italy for $400 million. It couldn't be. It wasn't even like, it was broken. You couldn't fly with it. They strapped it straight away.
But why don't they invest in some physical tanks there? Like, why do they? Do they have plans for world domination and they need planes to move their stuff away? Like,
yeah, exactly. That was my. Okay, I get it, because it's not a big country, but for example, you have to move your tanks around.
Move them
But
quickly if there's. Okay, have you understood the numbers? Because from what I heard like a Biden speech. He was presenting it that we had there 800,000 Afghans prepared, and it was like 75,000 Talibans. But is that really the numbers?
They didn't go into that number, or I missed it or something like that, because I was watching it a little bit with my cell phone, like always. But they didn't go through that. But that's what I heard also, that they have 700,000. That's what Biden said in the, like, it's no problem. Like there's only a couple of them Talibanis, and how long did it take? A week?
But maybe this is just what they want to show to the world. Like, maybe there is everything business as usual, and it's just a few clips just to show this. But for what reason would they want to? I don't get it. I mean, for sure, they are. If it's like for real, some terrorist group that took over, for sure they want to sell their product. So for sure they're gonna do a better deal with the US. Okay, the US is not gonna get 100% profit. It's gonna get cheap first base product, like to make their pills. Yeah.
It's such a hard, because it's like the first of all, the Taliban started from, you know how the Taliban got started, because the Soviets were there, so they started training them and started funding them. Mujahideen back then, they became the Taliban, and then there was a subsidiary, was the Al Qaeda that became, and then like the at some point they started fighting the Taliban, of course, like at 2000, I don't know, 6 or something like that, and they were with them, and they started funding the rebels again, which is it's like, can you see from your past that that doesn't work? It's like you're repeating the same situation. Like, how can we beat them? Let's try the same tactic that we did before.
Yeah.
That worked perfectly. And now there's like ISIS K. Did you hear about this one?
No.
Now now the Taliban is fighting ISIS K.
Okay.
ISIS K.
It's a group with their group leader is Kanye West. Probably like funded by Kanye West Foundation or something.
Wouldn't be surprised, man. Did you see his what a record revealing shit?
No, is it worth watching? Like,
I think I haven't even seen it, but there was some Illuminati shit going on up there. There was like Marilyn Manson there, and
is it worth like YouTubing? You think?
I don't know. I haven't seen it, so
okay.
Probably.
Let's. I can check it.
But it makes. But also, I can't remember what I watched about. Yeah, but I watched some doctor, or I watched about the what it was called, about the death of Kanye West's mother, and that's when he went crazy. Basically, that's when everything started going wrong, because that was his like.
You said he was at
anchor.
He was at some gathering.
The record reveal party. He had like 5 of them. Made 30 million out of just the record reveal parties. He put himself on fire. At least that's what I know.
This.
I think so. It looks like Kanye.
Oh.
Kanye West levitates right on out of the stadium during the second Donda listening party where Kim Kardashian was in attendance to support her estranged husband.
Him and I have been best friends for a really long time.
She's got a habit.
His second launch for his upcoming album Donda on Thursday.
I hate this. I hate these entertainment news.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, what's up? You have only a couple of tabs open, huh?
Yeah, like my mental state, like million personalities fighting. They are like creating an own calendar, like. Yeah. Fuck Kanye West. I don't know, like there's certain type of artists, like, okay, I get it that they're good, but I don't like the mood that their content is putting me in, and I'm particular with the mood I want to be put in sometimes.
I understand completely, and it's honestly, his older stuff is pretty fucking good. It's very, very spiritual, very like, just when he went crazy, that's when he started making this Scoopy to whoop. But still he's a very, like, his beats are totally like better than most of the shit people put out. Did you see?
Man, I saw last night, like, the South Park, the movie. Man, it's amazing how man, like, I have a lot of respect for this Trey Parker. Man, like, he's like a legend, man. Like, the amount of quality content that he creates, and, like, to be frank, like, to me he's better than Monty Python. I enjoy much more watching his because his stories like they blend together. They have a point, whereas Monty Python is more like a Family Guy. Like you think yes, well, blah, 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 and it's a bunch of like random thoughts string together. But on this thought, I saw a fucking amazing 2-season show. It's like 10-minute episodes, animated, and it's called the Shivering Truth. And Trey Parker is also in one of the episodes as a voice in one of the episodes, and it's like a surrealistic show about like imagining thoughts in dreams, and it's just random stories blended together, surrealistic shit. Yeah.
I have to check it out. Which movie? The first movie?
Shivering
No.
Truth. It's
No, but you watched the first half.
I was bigger, longer, and cut. Yeah.
What would Brian Botano do if he was here right now?
Yeah. How they roast Saddam Hussein, and even Bill Gates, they kill him in the movie. Like they shoot him. Like, why do you make Windows 98 so fucking slow? And the Kern like army general like shoots Bill Gates.
I went to watch it with my dad when it came out. after the movie, he said like, maybe you should have seen this with your friend. I was like, yeah, maybe. But I can't. Back then, Bill Gates was just the Windows guy.
But I mean, so much symbolism in that movie. Like even the chip element, that Cartman had a chip when he was cursing and he was getting shocked. I mean, that's censoring basically.
Yeah.
Man, that's what's happening now, man. Like you say something and this goes against the guidelines, whatever. You can only be on Twitter. On Twitter, you can like really say whatever. But if you are a figure that is an important figure, then they censor you. If you are a nobody, you can like literally wave your dick. You can do anything. But if you are a president, then you get censored if you start saying whatever you want.
It's
bullshit, man. Like, yeah.
It's the same with YouTube. Like the smaller channels, okay, whatever, you can stream your music, whatever, you can play the Eagles in the background or whatever. They won't claim you, but once it starts getting hits, then straight away banned.
Yeah.
But it's crazy that think about, because the South Park especially, because you remember back in the day when you watched TV, like TV, when it was just TV, man, what they could say, okay, they could say shit maybe one time, whispering, or like, oh crap.
Yeah.
That's it. Never fuck, never ever fuck, never ever you could use that word, or it was already like R-rated straight away. Then it like, okay, then you can say fuck 5 times maybe. But they pushed the envelope so much.
I was thinking that like these censoring words is like just a business scheme to make words more attractive so that you can hypnotize people with content, because it's like, we haven't heard it and we create an association with words, and like it's like an insulin shot whenever you hear that word. It's blasphemy, you shouldn't have said that. Like, and even in sex they like to like use words, you dirty bitch, like the word is stimulating or something. I don't know, like, why does the word have to have so much power over something? I don't know.
They give them powers, and I hate both. I started hating both sides of the COVID shit, because it's like, oh, you're a sheep, oh, you're a tinfoil guy, QAnon is conspiracy theory. There's these code words, like you said, like, and everybody knows them now. It's like the meta now. Everybody like, oh, you're a QAnon guy. And then you ask them, okay, what is QAnon? Explain to me, what is QAnon, please? I don't know. I heard someone use it.
What's a QAnon? I haven't heard it.
It's apparently I've been called this many times. I've never even seen any of their content or anything, but apparently it's this what was it? Like this group in the internet who believe that everybody in high power is a pedophile, which they're not wrong.
But I mean, what's a pedophile? Like someone who goes with a 15-year-old?
Yeah, in America, yeah, that's the pedophile. But in Europe, no, that's not a pedophile. And in Afghanistan, that's not a pedophile. That's your basic shit. That's your basic shit.
But in Afghanistan, it's a pedophile of a goat.
No. You know what they do? Like they were like the army guys and the police guys. They used to have parties, and they had these chai boys. Well, you can guess. Okay, they brought them tea, but they also beautiful. And then you're fighting with them. It's like, man, I don't want to. I just saw what you did. I saw what you did yesterday. I don't feel comfortable.
As they are exploding in this, what did you say, shy bat kid? What did
chai, like a tea boy.
Yeah, they say I love Habgar. I love Hagbar. I don't know. They love. I mean, yeah, sex with little boys has been around forever.
That's the beginning of democracy. from actually your close to your country.
Yeah. I don't understand it completely yet, but maybe it was some understanding but it was like I teach you everything I know, and you allow me to fuck you, and then you do it to someone else. It's like in the army, like you accept that the older generation is like a little bit tougher, and then you do it to the others, and it's like goes forever, recycling trauma, like
that's how it started, 100%. Plus, okay, it was a time when you lived to be maybe 13 was like old man. So it was like it's not pedophilia.
Man, I believe that the universe was created by one thing. It wasn't the Big Bang. I think it was someone jerking off.
Someone thinking about jerking off and then...
Or it's an alien jerking off, or I don't know what we... But it's so weird, like why there's so many similar planet like us, and we're the only shitty thing that has something that is moving on it, that seems to us. Because with our lens, maybe there is, but we can't see it with our frequency or something.
That's what I believe, 100%.
And they can't see us or something, and it's invisible, it's in another frequency, and we just can't see it, but it's there, but we can't see it because it's, I don't know, it gets too mindfucky. I am too dumb to explain it.
It gets to this, like, man, do you think that there's, but it's true, like at some point I was like, man, what the fuck is, like, even with God I was like, what the fuck, God? Like, what do you do? Are you a fucking idiot? Yeah. But it's like, no, you're also an idiot because you think that you know.
Yeah.
You think that, like, yeah, well, science proves that there is no God. Okay, yeah.
But like, tell me about science. You are a person who has lived 30 years. You see stuff, like, you see how things connect with things, and you're starting to wonder, like, what the fuck? Yeah, but we are connected. Everything is connected. Like, shit happens. I don't know what's thought. Is it my thought, or it's our thought, or it's one
Yeah,
thought,
or is
or
it?
who is thinking? Like, is there telepathy and stuff? Like, it's weird stuff. Sometimes things happen and you're wondering in amazement. Like, you can't explain it, but it feels like saying that I'm an atheist is limiting something. Like, that's how I feel. I don't feel like I'm a theist, but saying that I'm atheist is I'm limiting something that I don't understand, and I'm trying to rationalize it with
Yes.
logic, because logic can it. Like when you take mushrooms, it goes beyond words, like what you see. Like, I mean,
Exactly.
what is it? It's like a circus, or am I inside the cells and I see the perspective of the cells? What am I looking at? Like, I can't explain what I'm looking at.
Yeah, and especially psychedelics, and that's why I want to take TMT, because it that takes you the even further to the maybe the molecular level, wherever it takes you, but it really helps you at least understand that not everything that you think is an absolute fact. Like, okay, now because I had this thought, now that this happened to me one time, now that's what's gonna happen to me all the time and whatnot.
Yeah, and you can even come to a thought that, a realization that, okay, I don't even have to believe the thought. I just use the ability to think to solve problems when I need to. That's how my thought serves me. Cause I mean, yeah, you can think whatever, but you need to wait. Like, should I consider the thought or not? Like, I don't like to hold on hate.
No, it's useless. It's
I mean,
useless.
I could have a thought of hate, but I always rationalize it to neutralize it. Like, it doesn't serve me. I'd rather find a way not to have hate.
And still and still and still hate.
Yeah, and still hate.
Because I'm always like, okay, maybe some things I've gotten better at not being like getting angry at easy, but then okay, for going to social media, try not to get angry there.
Yeah, it takes training. Like, it's like going to a wrestling match. It's like you need to learn to fight without being angry.
The because you remember when, for example, when I lost the 80 euros, I left it there wherever I left it. Then
Yeah, but then I remember that you said that you found, then in another way you found 50 euros in the
Did I?
bar. You were working in the bar, and
Yes.
so somehow it neutralized. And then for sure you found 30 euros somehow. You profited 30 euros somehow. Like, I don't know now, but for sure
Fair enough. Fair
it
enough.
balanced out somehow.
Fair enough. Because now I remember, because in La Fiesta you found many times money, and I went outside a couple of times and I found some 20 euros. And so maybe it was. There's always
Yeah.
yin and yang.
Yeah. But I mean, yes, it's, I don't like Chris Rock, but for some reason this stuck in my head. He had one bit that what goes around sometimes doesn't come around. Like, sometimes shitty people, they just go on and they do shitty things, and they never get what's coming to them. Like, what
That's
should
true.
come to them. Like,
At least in this life. Maybe Peter says to him like, "Now you're going to hell, boy." But yeah, that man, I remember hearing. I think we watched it in Kebari, and it was one of his best like bits, not bits, but like, because there's for example, like Bill Hicks, he's not comedy. He's like,
man, I like him. I respect the style, but I see a bitterness that I don't want to emulate. I don't want to live with such bitterness. Like, fuck that bitterness. Like,
Yeah, because
why? I mean, you're a capitalist. You're profiting from capitalism. Like, okay, I get the act. Maybe it was an act, but I mean, in the end, he died from cancer.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the bitterness or just random cancer.
I bet the bitterness didn't help it, at least.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning he was just a normal stand-up. He was like, "Hey, how about these airplane meals?" You know, and then everybody was like, "Oh, this guy sucks." And then like, "Fuck you! You guys help me! I fucking suck! You suck! You suck!"
But Sam Kinison was also an edgy guy like that. He was, but it was his style. Like it wasn't like he was bitter. It was his style. Like, but I don't know why he died so young. I don't know what happened with him.
Me neither, actually. But he was fat, so
Yeah.
probably something like this.
And he was an ex-minister.
Ex-minister.
Yeah, not minister. I mean, he was a pastor or
What?
yeah. That was a mind fuck. That I didn't even know that, and I saw one of his concerts. It was like he had like 15-20 minutes. He was playing with a band, like a rock band, and then doing stand-up. It was like a nice show.
I haven't even actually, because I haven't even ever watched probably even Sam Kinison, now that I think about it. I know about him because I watch a lot of stand-up and I hear a lot of stand-up podcasts who talk about the craft, which sucks.
If you want to like watch some interesting stand-up, there's one particular era in the 80s. There's this comedian Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah, no.
I don't get no respect.
I get no respect.
And
my wife.
This guy, because he was like not getting chances to do stand-up, and because his wife left him with 2 kids, he decided to open his own club, and he was performing at his club, and he gave opportunities to like new comedians, including Bill Hicks and Sam Kinison, and then some others. And there's one night of stand-ups, like 6 different of the 80s, and like the rawness, how raw they were talking, like, man, it's gonna be like eye-opening how raw they were talking, like in the 80s. Like,
yeah,
you can't compare it now. Now it's gonna be like, people like burning from electricity, internal shocking, like
yeah, like, oh, watch out for that word, watch out. No, I can't say that. Ooh. Well, how about those black
eyed peas? They are sure tasty, they are sure healthy.
Exactly. But it's yeah, I would think, for example, you've seen probably Eddie Murphy's his older stuff.
You mean, of course I watched his 2 specials, but are you talking about some movies or?
No, the specials is exactly like, hey, you want the faggots? Goddamn faggots. It's like, oh, Eddie.
But
you're the one who fucked the tranny.
but he found a way to make it funny, because he was just making Mr. T like a macho guy, like making him wanting to fuck Eddie Murphy. So he was taking on it. He was being the ass of the joke, kind of. So he found a way to like, and
kind of, but it was also like Richard Pryor probably also used everybody. Fag didn't mean gay back then. It was like, okay, you.
Richard Pryor has one in the 70s, one show he did, and he's like has one bit like, have you ever suck dick for coke? Like I think he started the show like this was his reality. Like he was so addicted to coke that he had to suck dick. I don't know. Like.
Have you seen when he the Friar's roast when he's talking like he's roasting Paul Mooney.
Yeah, well, which is, but I don't
Do you know-
remember what.
Do you know the backstory with Paul Mooney and Richard Pryor?
They did some
Or-
movies or some.
Or the there's a, I don't know if it's a conspiracy or if it's, I think it's legitimately, like it's been proven that Paul Mooney fucked his son. Basically, he raped his son.
Oh.
So he's in the Friar's roast. He's like, hey, he's saying a lot of taking not so subtle jabs, you know.
Like young boy or some old.
I think he was like 15 back then, but it was the 70s. Everybody fucked kids then. Well, okay, like David Bowie, all the Mick Jagger. There was this one girl who basically fucked everybody, and she was like 13. They wrote songs about her and whatnot.
She was 16 and 6 feet tall. Or yeah, there's one Greek song, like one guy singing that he was 45 and she was 15 or something. I don't know. Or
Well, that's not pedophilia.
I was watching one documentary about one, like the best bouzouki player in Greek history.
Bouzouki.
His name was Manolis Chiotis. Apparently, this documentary was creating the picture that he was 28 and he married a 15-year-old. I mean, in India, or they marry at 8, or who
Or
knows?
at least they get sold. They get sold to the family. They like, it's been chosen. I get your goats and you get our butter, naan bread.
Man, I checked some bullshit stat. You know, like a record. Like supposedly a 5-year-old has a record for the youngest woman who gave birth. But I mean, how can you like make me believe that? Like,
The child was like this big.
I don't know what kind of child.
Probably very, very not retarded. Like a normal.
I think it's fake news. Fake news.
Yeah. Yeah. Donald Trump he's gonna make a comeback 100%.
Is he gonna be alive too then?
Well,
Is anybody gonna be alive from this campaign? Like,
Fair enough. But it's just so funny, like how people are like, oh, fuck him, man. And now Biden is there, like, man, everything is going to shit. Like,
it's like it was a strategic move. Like, okay, we get rid of create a monster so that we get rid of it, and then when we get rid of it, we do something even worse, and because it's not that monster, it's gonna neutralize it, and it's like, okay, it's Zen. Like,
what I believe is that he was put there to divide more, because you see it now. You see it's now more than fucking ever with every whatever the subject is. It's like there's two sides always, like,
but
fighting.
isn't it always like that? Whether it
Kinda, but I feel like it's now on steroids. It's like there's no there's no middle ground anymore. Like the middle people went away. It's either or. Even the ones who were like, I don't give a shit about politics, were like, oh, fuck Donald Trump, because he said grab him by the pussy.
But what was the middle ground of America? Because it's like two sides. Like, I don't even know what's the middle ground in America.
Well, is it really two sides? Is Biden really a Democrat, or is like it's the same side basically? But the because of identity politics and whatnot. There's now the far, not because it was the left and the right, right? And like it wasn't like this. Now it's the far left and the far right that is fighting.
Yeah.
And the people in the middle, okay, there's people in the middle, but they still have to listen to the, like, their sides went further away, basically, is what I'm saying.
No, we just see some extreme. They show us more the extremes.
Well, that's true also, and of course that the extreme is gonna sell more, or it's gonna be sexier to show it, because who gives a shit about, like, well, nothing happened here today, yay, that's not news.
But like, I start to wonder sometimes, like, because some of the news are like real, but many of the news it's like I wonder, is it just they sit in a boardroom and they think, okay, let's come up with ideas, like, okay, go create a scenario, create a name for a doctor, whatever, and whatever, like.
It's getting harder and harder to believe everything, because that's what also he did. He, of course, everybody always was like, okay, this is kind of bullshit with news, but there was still some, like, you still believed a little bit, like, okay, this is the news, you know. But now it's like, mainstream news, please, I don't watch it. Like, it's bullshit. It's all bullshit
I
for
mean,
some people.
man, like, many things, like, I mean, even this serial killer in Cyprus, like, is he for real, or was it just a script, like?
They found some dead people and there's a serial killer.
They found a bag. What happened? There was some old mine, some abandoned mine area where they were mining, and it's like a small lake. It was a red lake, and they found a bag, and inside the bag there was dead bodies.
Oh, how many?
Some 7 they found, like, or less, I don't know, like something.
Still.
And supposedly his name on some Tinder or something was Orestes, and this area that this was found was Mitsero, and if you read Mitsero backwards, it reads like Orestes. Orestes. And the news, they were trying to, like, make this story and this and pieces together, and I don't know. It sure created some interesting content. For sure, it raised their views.
He got caught.
Yeah.
Noob. Have you gotten ever into these conspiracy theories about Kurt Cobain and his death?
Little bit. I will go put quickly a little bit of water because I'm, like, dying here, and yeah.
I'll go do it too. I can't hear. Can you hear me?
Can you hear?
Yes.
you are saying if I have got into conspiracy theories about Kurt Cobain, well, I have my own conspiracy theory about
Okay,
him.
tell me.
I,
Tell
I,
me.
w- I was I was born 9 months and 16 days after his death. So I have this theory that at that exact same moment that he was blowing a load in his mouth, my my conception happened at that exact same moment, like my parents were making me at that exact same moment. And
So you are the
yeah,
reincarnation.
yeah, and his nirvana lasted only in utero for 9 months.
Well, it's a theory.
Yeah, it's a theory. But yeah, tell me, like, what was the motive to kill? What was the motive of the theory supposedly? Like,
Well,
Courtney Love, like, she had some gain from this, like.
she got a lot of gain actually. Well, she got hold of Nirvana basically. She got hold of the money, like the all of the publishing rights of the song, all the royalties from the songs basically came to her for her to give it to the
Her
kid,
daughter.
you know?
Ah, okay.
Yeah. But okay, first year she already sold 10% of it for like 10, I can't remember what it was. But then after that, she sold 30% for like 50 million back in the day, which is like a shit ton of money. Now it's like, okay, now it would be like 200,000 probably.
Man, what was the deal with
200 million.
what was the deal with this guy who was the baby on the Nevermind album? Is it just a joke or is it just a meme or what?
He got he got probably broken, and because there's 10 years ago he was fine with it. He was like he has an article published actually. He was like, yeah, man, it was fucking cool, and I'm a part of history and blah blah blah. And all of a sudden, 10 years later, his lawyer was like, that's child pornography. Okay, okay.
Child pornography. Yeah, let's.
But basically, but if you really think about it, it is, because it's an unknown. It's not your. It's a public shit, and it has a baby dick on it. So basically, it is, of course, child pornography.
But I mean, okay, what
if
was
you
the
make it,
what was the deal? Like some advertising agency, they were looking for a baby to fill in the shooting. Like what was, or how did the picture appear? Like someone got paid for that picture, didn't they?
yeah, they got paid. Nirvana was a small, like they got big for that album, right? Like after that album, they got really really big. Of course, they were like known, but still, okay, like they weren't like Nirvana nowadays. Like, oh my god, cult following. So they paid the parents $200 basically for it,
Yeah. Okay. So,
and they were like, okay, can we do this? And I'm like, okay, yeah, why not? It's never gonna come to anything.
I mean, on the other hand, yeah, if you could make easy money, why not do it? Like, what kind of morals? Fuck morals. Sometimes.
And it's like, man, whatever, you got $200.
Yeah.
Probably bought crack with it, you know.
You damn crack baby.
Man, I bet he was. I bet he was looking at the band and whatnot. But it's like the conspiracy, like there's also they actually started a new investigation about the case not long ago, like a couple of years ago, because there came a movie Soaked in Bleach, which because there's a private detective basically who started all of this. Courtney Love hired him to investigate because Kurt was missing, and he started investigating, and he after first meeting Courtney, he started recording everything because, well, you probably seen Courtney Love, her interviews, and she's not the most stable one.
Yeah.
And especially back in those days, she was like a master manipulator.
Personally, I don't know what he saw in her, like, as, I don't know.
She probably pushed herself, and she was like, you know, okay, I love you.
Yeah.
Nice pillow, by the way.
Ah, yeah, like a zebra. Yeah.
But it was about the, like when you go to the murder, the suicide. The shotgun had zero, like they didn't found any the what is it called, fingerprints on the shotgun, on the shotgun shelf, on anything, any of them. They were wiped clean, basically.
But who said
That's what
that's what the paper of
that's what the
the
police reports. Yeah, that's what the police report says. They found no.
and I mean that's a fact that's the document that is
Yes.
presented.
Yes, but in suicide cases, most of the times they're gonna be like, okay, especially it's what is easier than kill a junkie, you know?
But
What is
okay,
easier?
ma-
You just
you
that's
know
it.
what? I don't know why I thought of it could be like Kurt, like he agreed that okay, I wanna kill myself, so he's gonna drink some pills, but then come shoot me with a shotgun, and then the guy who came and shot him with the shotgun shot the dead carcass of Kurt Cobain, and cleaned the gun and then left. Because Kurt wanted to die, but he wanted to die like a rock star, but he didn't want to shoot himself because he was a pussy. Maybe.
yes and no, because basically I don't know. We're never probably gonna
Yeah,
find out.
we can never know.
But might happen, but that might have happened. But also about his, like, he was depressed and he
But
wasn't.
no, man, he had a daughter.
He wasn't
He was
exactly.
he was happy about the kid. Man, that
Exactly.
changed his life. So that makes it more believable to think that somebody did it to him.
Yeah, and you know who's the only one who's ever said where all the depression shit and all the, like, he's suicidal and he bought a shotgun, he's gonna shoot himself, started with Courtney Love. Just when he was missing, you know, she started like, oh, he's suicidal. He tried, for example, that there was a case before, like they were in Rome and he he overdosed on rohypnol or whatever it is, you know, the day grape drug, the eye drops. He basically took champagne and that one and overdosed and went to the doctor, and before it was like, oh, okay, it was an accident, and he said it was an accident, she said it was an accident, the doctor was like, okay, it wasn't done on purpose, because usually in these cases there's more, you know, like why would he, like, okay, just a little bit, you know. But after Kurt got missing, she was like, oh, that was his first suicide attempt, and she started like, there's lots of shady shit going on with this, but we'll never figure it out, you know. It's gonna be forever.
Yeah.
Like, oh, did he or didn't he? But I don't believe he did. Neither did Chris Cornell, by the way.
Yeah. How did he die? Suppose hanged himself.
Hanged himself, and he, you know, sometimes when you do the, what is it called, CPR,
Yeah.
ribs break, right? Because you're doing it too hard and you're doing it in too much of a motion. Sometimes a couple ribs break, you know, 4 maybe. He had 9 broken like these rib cages. 9 were broken, or I can't remember if it was 9, but it was many. And there was blood in the bathroom.
Yeah.
There was blood in the bathroom, and supposedly hang himself. How is there blood? How is it, like, how is there lots? Okay, there can be a little blood when you, like, but there was lots of blood. His rib cage was completely fucked, and also her wife is friends with Courtney Love,
Wow.
and her wife, you know, like, they started dating. I can't remember when, but it wasn't Soundgarden days, for example. They didn't even know back in Soundgarden days. But you know what his wife did? Took control of the Soundgarden whole social media, took everything, took all the money to her,
Yeah.
and they had a charity for Chris Cornell, Metallica, and all of them came and gave money. She took it all. She took it all. It's like what? It's just these things are like.
I was watching the South Park episode with Tiger Woods and his Swedish wife. You stupid motherfucker! Like just some gold digger. They are like control freak gold digger.
Yeah, exactly. And imagine being a fucking multi-millionaire. Ooh, it's
Man,
gonna be
like
rough.
I mean, there's cheating, and then there's like seeking for some service because I don't wanna use you like an object. And like, I mean, if you're not willing to give it to Tiger Woods, then like, why shouldn't he go get some?
Have a
more-
disease. Have a disease. Yeah, we killed him. We killed the ghost. Like, no, what was it? It was a wizard.
But it's so funny. Like, we have a turret in the house. Like, fuck, man. Like, I love South Park. How they make things funny out of nothing. Like, they find a way to make funny out of nothing. Like,
Yeah, like the. You remember what was the episode when they had and now Kurt Cobain's hologram? He's taking the shotgun and putting the bullet in, singing the Christmas song, and then boop, there comes like Happy Merry Christmas.
I don't remember this. Like, what episode?
I think it's in from the newer ones. Let me check if I can find it.
I remember a Family Guy episode that they were making if Kurt Cobain was alive, if he found Häagen-Dazs, he would have been alive. Like,
Well, you think that's bad? Where's Kurt Cobain? Was she there?
yeah, I love that episode. Like, they have like some manatees. What is it? This manatee? Like, is it a sea lion? This manatee. What's a manatee?
Yeah, kind of a sea lion or something like that.
And they are just creating the episodes. What was
yeah, I remember.
And if you remove one word, and Mohammed, if you remove one word from there, they stop working. Or I don't remember, yeah, whatever. It's just spoiling episodes.
Just
We have a turret in the house.
what was it wasn't the ghost, it was a wizard who was making all the like men being
Doctor
sex.
Dr. Mephisto.
No, but like the sex, like when they were all the powerful people have a sex addiction, you know. Have you seen the one?
Yeah. And then they say, look at this experiment, and they show like a case group of monkeys. Look at this healthy monkey now when we give it money, and like they give to the monkey money, and the monkey's just fucking monkeys around like like because it like goes crazy with power, like
straight away sex addiction. Can you allow me to share the screen?
Let me see. Multiple participants. No, now you should be able to. Are you able?
Yeah. Oh, fuck that. Control to set mode. Share.
but we can't hear. Ah, I okay. I think
Put the Germany with the click, click. Wait, how do I? Oh, shut the fuck. That's also a fucking good one.
Oh yeah. I'm a respected business around from the West. We have a fine quality workers here.
How do I stop sharing the screen? Right there.
Or if you go on the top,
There we go. But it's so funny. Like, Finland has like the according like or when you look at the COVID cases or whatnot, looking at it's not that like it's never hit that hard right there, but,
Yeah.
right? But people are crazier than even in like probably even in Brazil. They're like the crazier in Finland than in Brazil about this.
Man,
I feel like
man, I see now. I see the statistics, and the statistics show that this is nothing. Like, and even the statistics I see of COVID is cases that have something else, and then they say that it's COVID because the test conveniently shows something that you already have, something that everybody has, but it detects it sometimes or whatever, and then sometimes it shows whatever. And based on that statistic, you can classify something as it is. But even this thing that after so much effort you are trying to classify it, the numbers are low, and still this is not enough to show people that, yo, chill, like, why are you scared? Like, it's business as usual, like, chill, like, what is there to, I don't
yeah, exactly. I kind of get it when if you're really like old and in a risk, like you have some underlying. Of course, I understand then that you're a little bit scared because, of course, then you have a bigger chance, and you're already taking a chance with your epilepsy and whatnot. But still, it's like the craziest is when young people are like, oh, triple masks and driving by themselves in a car, mask on. It's like, dude, have you seen how many young people have died? 4?
Yeah, I mean, the proper thing would have been just isolate people who are in a risk group or people who like depend on, like, if someone has to have surgery tomorrow, they don't want to catch a flu or something, so that person needs to isolate themselves so that they don't get exposed because they can't handle it because they have to be on surgery tomorrow. But man, it's crazy. It's like place on. I see this. It's becoming a religion. The people who are support the best, the weirdest mindfuck, Jedi mindfuck thing is that it's like some bullshit agenda that you push on the people, and then the people defend it with all their might. That what the
Both
fuck?
sides, both sides, because and it's exactly the both sides' fault because I remember in the beginning I was like, oh, look at this, but that's what's creating the problem because you are up here, and they're maybe energy-wise here, but when you are up here, you're making them also go here, and then there's like yin and yang. There's always like counter the physics, whatever it is, the most basic thing about physics rule that every reaction has a counter reaction, right?
Yeah.
So if you say fuck you, somebody's gonna say fuck you back, usually, and that's what's also creating the problem, because both sides are, I because I some I hate when people think like the either side thinks like, okay, I've heard about I heard this from so many mouths that I know that don't know shit about anything, like spike protein, blah 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 blah. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck do you know about spike proteins and what mRNA? Like,
And like someone is trying to play it in a way that someone has done studies about this, and wait, my friend, okay, I respect that there is a study, but do you respect the fact that even a study is sketchy? Like, I'm so creative, I can make you a believable study and convince you that my dick depends on the world surviving on something. Like, I can make a study and prove it. Like, man, this with the bullshit, man. Man, isn't this like a satirical joke? Like, what kind of studies can prove that now the shit of the cow is causing? Man, that's I don't need to be. I respect that there's things that I'm too dumb to understand, but I respect that I'm not so dumb that I can, like, that goes beyond something I can believe, or I don't even need convincing to be believed that it's bullshit, because it is bullshit. It's literally, it's bullshit, man. Like, it's so funny. It's so funny that it's just in your face, like the. But that's, I don't know. It's always like this. But what's the analogous of this bullshit thing? What was before the? What was causing climate change before the bullshit?
The gas from the whatever factories.
But this also, my eyes have opened to this, and I think, like, okay, I can get that maybe the factories, they emit some harmful substances, but
100%.
But the CO2 is not bad. The CO2 is good, and the trees are growing, so their capacity to take CO2 is also growing. So the CO2 shouldn't be a thing of fear, but the black clouds that are created in the town, that's toxicity. That's a bad thing for the people, not for the environment. It's for the fucking people that it's bad, not for the planet is surviving okay with the black cloud. It's like, fuck you, if you don't want to breathe fresh air, just stay in this secluded small area, the concrete area with a lot of cars. It's on you. Like, it's not the. Don't think that the environment needs your help. You save yourself, fucking little human. Like,
exactly.
Just go move to the suburbs. Like, I don't know, like, or move high up on the skyscraper where there's not enough fumes up there. Like,
exactly, and it's exactly this. The planet is gonna be fine. It's you who's gonna die, because, like you said, CO2. What the fuck? We need CO2. We need fucking CO2. Of course, when there's too much CO2, then everything gets fucked. But there's never. If we fuck up all the ecosystems, like the water life and the rainforest and everything, then of course we're gonna have problems, which we are doing, by the way, also. But
but that doesn't have anything. But okay, the cutting down forests and like the cutting down forests is the thing that we should tackle, not like create a store. Like, just now someone is created a hypothesis like, the CO2 is causing climate change. This is a legitimate hypothesis. And this is how the narrative is pushed now, like CO2 bad. But no, it's not the CO2. It's like cutting trees down. That's bad, maybe.
Yeah,
because you don't have them there to absorb the CO2. But
and the ecosystem.
the CO2 is just the hypothesis that it's the bad thing. Like
It is. And remember, you remember when it started, it was global warming. But now it's turns to climate change, and
Yeah.
then it's gonna be something else. And
Yeah, and I mean, even I was, they were like, this year has been a normal, typical year. It had cold days and it had warm days, but the warm days were like a particular 2 weeks of warm days, and everybody was like, oh, global warming, global warming. But it was like just a gap of 2 weeks, and then it was business as usual, cold or warm as usual. So it's just business as usual, rotating, and we're trying to find ways to make it sound our way. Like, I'm different, I'm saying it different way. You're 6, I'm 9, or that's how it's always.
and it's always like, well, look at this global climate change, right? Like the hurricane. Like the stupidest thing is like, well, there's been an increase of hurricanes, so that's climate change. It's like, yeah, kinda. It's the Earth probably changed axis a little bit, so now the pressure has come there more. It's not like, I believe in climate change. Of course, I believe in climate change. Climate changes all the time, but man-made, not so much. Like that man has such an influence that they say, of course we have an influence. That's stupid not to say that we don't have any influence. Of course we have some influence, but on the capacity that they're saying, whoa, never.
Okay,
Never in my life.
okay. The one thing I see that is a thing that we could try to find a way to tackle for sure is how we extract oil from the sea. That thing I'm willing to talk, because that literally, I'm not denying, it destroys the ecosystem there. Like that, if we could find some better way to create tunnels underneath, that we drill through the tunnel, so if the spillage happens, it goes in a tunnel, that I'm all for it. Like if we can find other ways not to have to be so drilling and risking it. Find less risky ways to drill in the sea, like.
Exactly. And there's many things like overfishing. Of course, we should do something about it. Over killing animals. Yes, we should do something about it. There's many things, but these like, hey, now we're gonna have electric cars and we're gonna save the world. It's like, shut the fuck up. Like, calm the fuck down. That's just like you trying. It's like the mask. It's like you have not even the FFP mask. Like you have some mask you bought from IKEA, and you're like, oh, now I'm safe. It's like, no, you're
the FFP mask, I was wearing it in the airport, and I was going through the section with the colognes, and I was smelling the colognes. Man, this virus supposedly is smaller than a bacteria, man. It's gonna knock a smaller thing. Like, imagine a bacteria comes to my mask. It knocks on the door. Can I come inside?
No.
I pass through the polyester shit. Like, I'm getting in. And the smaller bacteria, it's gonna be like, it's gonna come in. Like, doesn't even need to ask. Like, what am I protecting, man? I'm just creating discomfort. I'm just, it's like I'm torturing myself. Like,
yeah.
Like I'm forced by a master to torture myself, like
Exactly.
kind of. And the thing that you put in your nose to take it, that's a torture mechanism.
That's have you taken it? The
Yeah,
test?
a few times when I went to Cyprus, like they put it and
true.
then you come with tears in your.
You come with tears in your eyes.
yeah, it's both scary and arousing at the same time. Like it's weird, but it's worth the 50 euros. Yeah, fuck going to like some top porn star, or even getting a massage. It's bad for like a test. It's the thing that you need. No, you don't even need some angel dust. You need like something discomfort in your eye, not euphoria in your eye. You need discomfort. Man, like what the fuck, they're fucking us we are paying them 50 euros and they're like, fuck you, and they're sticking it in our nose. Like, what
That
the
is the
fuck?
that is the craziest thing. You know, if this was such a fucking killing, like, oh yeah, you know, why do we have to pay? Why do you have to pay? You know, why do I have to pay to prove like I'm not dying? No, you prove to you. Please say, help me to realize that I'm dying then for free. Especially in Finland, I understand if you live in America where everything costs, but in Finland and in the Nordics, especially, it's like everything is free already or free-ish, but still it should be free. Also, the tests are free in Finland, but I don't know for how long.
Have you ever taken it?
No, I'm not. Uh, no.
But how you haven't traveled other than in Sweden during this period of this COVID, or?
No, because it came mandatory after I came from Portugal, I think.
Yeah.
Because I just came.
When you come to Finnish citizens are the most privileged citizens
true.
of the, because you come here. Yeah, they called me, yo, you should go do the test, and yeah, okay, I'm gonna go do the test. Yeah.
Finland is very, very privileged. If you want to talk privilege, it's Finnish privilege.
Yeah. So damn lucky.
Yes and no, because we just went behind Estonia. You remember in school when they said like, oh, Finland has the best schooling system in the whole world and we are number one. And no, we're number 16 now, behind Estonia, behind these construction workers, right? Good Finland.
But
good schooling system.
It makes sense. Like if I was a student, I would feel much happier if I was in Estonia. Like cheap booze, cheap cigarettes, like cheap living. I don't know. Like Finland is so expensive. If you are not like a local to like be a leech of the system, it's like a tough life. Okay, you make 1,600 easy money if you work full time, but it's tough living then. Yeah, I mean, okay.
Yeah. Because the 1,600 doesn't get you a lot.
Do you have a car? Are you renting a 700 euro house, or where are you living? Like, how are you living? Like, what are you doing? Do you eat food? Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's easy when you live in Kevari for how 300, right? Something like that.
370 or.
Yeah, okay, but still, like 400 even would be like fine-ish. But try to find another place with that especially even in Porvoo.
It's gonna be 550, 600, and okay, maybe then there's little bit. Okay, then you find other ways to balance it out, but you're gonna be giving still more money than here. This is the most economical, I mean, here.
Yeah, and the most annoying thing is the taxation, right? Because it's like the more you earn, of course you're gonna get taxed more. But in Finland, it's like ridiculous. It's like you earn 40,000, 30% straight away tax. It's like, man, I'm not even 40,000 is not even rich. 40,000 is like, okay, I'm making a living. But 30% straight away.
How is someone rich in Finland, and why are they rich? How rich are they, and why are they so rich since they are gonna be taxed that money? Or they're so rich that they can afford that?
Then you do this. If you're rich enough, you start doing these little tricks, you know. You can diversify your investments, you know, and put it there where you don't have to pay as much tax. Have what is that? Yeah, you know, these foundations. These are tax free, and then you start doing this type of things, and all of a sudden, you don't have to pay tax anymore.
Yeah.
It's called verosuunnittelu in Finnish, which is a perfectly nice word for cheating your taxes. I'm planning my taxes. It's like, okay, how is that different from cheating? No?
Then how is money created in Finland? From toilet paper from
No,
from trees that you send to for paper, like
no, it's the European Central Bank. Ever since we got euro, it's the European Central Bank who decides.
okay, so you speculate that if the Finnish economy had to depend from its own economy, it couldn't sustain its social welfare system.
Like if what? Sorry.
Like Finland has a good social welfare system,
Yes. Yes.
but how is it able to survive? It's based on these people who are getting their asses taxed off, or it's just because the European Central Bank is handing out money.
No, but that is exactly the problem. What it is, because the public sector takes so much money, all these whatever they are like whatever you get, like Kela and whatnot, fucking free health, free medicine. These cost so much money that they have to cut on something every year. So they're cutting on something and cutting on something and cutting on something and borrowing more money a little bit to fix the issue, basically.
Okay,
Before it was good because we had Nokia, we had big companies, but now it's like, what do we have?
man, okay, I because I'm into conspiracies. I have this conspiracy that Volt is a conspiracy. It was created by the Finnish government. It's a way to like take the money I take to Cyprus, the Finnish money I take to Cyprus. It's a way to like return it back to Finland. Volt
Volt.
went to Cyprus. Like it's a way to take back the money I take to Cyprus. Like take it back to the so like it goes back. Like I don't create any hole in the Finnish system. Like there's money missing. Like where is it going?
Yeah, but is Volt even Finnish?
Yeah,
It's Finnish.
it's Finnish.
Oh, it's Finnish. Okay, but it's does Cyprus have Volt? No.
Yeah.
Really?
There's even this Bolt, the Estonian one.
Oh, I thought it was Uber Eats or something like that. Like it's most of the places. Foodora, which is Swedish, I think.
Man, supposedly you can earn up to 5,000 euros. Is that bullshit? Like,
No, I don't.
what
but
does
you have
that mean? Like 5,000 euros? Like it means working 7 days a week, like for 15 hours a day or what? 20 hours a day.
If I understood correctly, it's not gonna be that, but it's gonna be something like that. It's like you really have to. First of all, you have to have a car isn't good enough because a car is slow on some roads, especially in Helsinki. A car is going to be slower than, let's say, a scooter or a scooter, the scooters. So they usually, what I've seen at least, they have these scooters or something like that, and they plan their, like they take a shit ton of orders and then that's how they do it. Like, but
Yeah, if you are in a small town like Porvoo, you are not gonna have such a need, probably. For sure, you're not gonna barely make the 1,000 something.
yeah, and the distances are so far away that it's not gonna be time efficient,
Yeah.
For example, if you go to Gammelbacka and Kevari, it's already gonna take you a little, even if you have a car, it's gonna take you some time compared to Helsinki, where let's say one house everybody orders there, and you take all the orders. You already have
Okay.
boom, boom, boom. You have a shit ton of money just from one house.
Foodora shows that you get 13 euros an hour, but it's not specified that is that a standard thing or is it like if it was a maximum amount and 8 hours, I don't know, 80 euros a day, 100 euros a day times 500 times 4 with 2,000. But they show that you can make 5,000. Like this is how they. Okay, if you worked instead of 8 hours, 16 hours, then it's 4,000. And instead of 16, you work like 18 hours. Yeah, it's okay. It's doable if you are in a crowded town like Barcelona, I don't know, or
Yeah, or Helsinki.
Yes.
Helsinki is good enough, I think. At least the one guy tried. You've seen the guy who was like, "I'm gonna make
Yeah.
8K or something." He didn't make it because it got snowy or something like that.
Okay, so that means that if you wanted to go to Los Angeles to live, like you could possibly be able to make money by delivering food.
Yeah, but do you know how about the you're gonna be fighting. You're gonna be shooting the competition though.
Taxi driver unions coming after you, like
Man, it's good. I bet it's crazy there because that's the problem with Uber, for example. What if there is oversaturation of the like you can earn 20K, let's say, but what if there's a fucking 20K drivers just in your area? You're gonna make €2 because you get one ride a day.
yeah, it's just hype. It's just hype. It's just that they are hyping the best case scenario of one case, and then they, yeah, good luck. Like,
That's what they do with everything. That's how they get you to play this game. First of all, this capitalism game, but like that's how they get you to play it. They look at this guy. He came out of nothing, right? Too. There's this one guy who made it out of nothing. But all the other millionaires are like fucking king's daughters and daughters, and oh yeah, my mom owned Fatser back in the day, so now I'm rich. Most of them are like this, but there's this one guy who started from the bottom and now he's here. Fucking bitches.
yeah, your network doesn't have anything to do about how you. Okay, sometimes it's just the skill set that I don't even know what we're talking about. Man, I have to go pee. Like,
I had to go take a shit a while ago, but I think I shit my pants or something.
I don't know. Do you wanna continue, or are you busy? You wanna end, or how do you?
I mean, we can continue some other day because it's getting a little
Yeah.
late. I
Okay.
have work tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. It was nice to talk to you, and yeah, I will invite you on some other episode again.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay. Good night.
All right, see you, bro.
Bye. See you.